I remember when time was hard. They left my brother scarred. Pop a perk and I'm going to Mars. We used to
All right. So on to some sports. So obviously we got to talk about Harden to Brooklyn, bro. What y'all think? Y'all think about Brooklyn now?
Hey, first of all, I'm sick. Okay, let me
Why
tell
you sick? Hold on. Why you sick?
Dude, first of all, I love H-Town. Like, I like the culture of Houston. I like Houston. So, like, and it's in the South, low-key. So, it's like, when people are like, what are you a fan of it? What's your team? I say Houston. But, like, James Harden is my favorite player. KD was my favorite player, but, like, he takes so much heat behind, switching teams and how he went to Golden State. And the little stuff he do, it make it hard to go to bat for him because, he got the whole Twitter scandal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I was just hot because I'm like, James Harden really, like, he kind of, like, LeBron getting to everybody. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying it's a bad move, but I just don't, like, I just don't know. Like, it's just everybody.
I see what you're saying.
It's three crybabies on one team. I'll be honest.
Yeah. Like it's different. So obviously I'm the biggest LeBron stan, but it is a different situation. Like LeBron finished his contract in Cleveland and then signed with a different team. Like I don't see anything wrong with that. It was like a new concept. Everyone wanted him to be Jordan, wanted him to be Kobe, stay on the same team the whole career. But then like Harden was like, my contract's not done. I'm making what does he make, like 40, 50 mil a year on the Rockets? And he's like, but I want you to trade me. And I want you to only trade me to these two teams. And I'm like, bro, you don't own the team. Like you're on contract. You're getting paid to play. You don't get to decide all that, bro. And it ended up he did get to decide all that, but still.
But then it's like my whole thing was just the way he went about it. Like,
yeah,
interview where he was like, I wasn't disrespectful.
I wasn't disrespectful to anyone. Those guys, I just got there, Houston. I've been there for a very long time. I've been through all the ups and downs, with that organization.
He basically said in the interview, we're not going to win. Like, he's like, these guys just got here, and it's just like, we're not going to win.
Yeah.
Like, what are you saying about guys like Boogie
and
hey,
John
Boogie
Wall,
didn't
bro.
like it. Boogie didn't like it. You
Bro,
heard what Boogie
coming...
said.
Yeah, what did he say?
I just saw a press conference when he was like, just talking about how disrespectful James Harden has been.
Yeah, and you got to think about John Wall and Boogie. John Wall has never been on a winning team. Like the Wizards have been winning like 1 or 2 years ever. Like with John Wall, he's coming from like a terrible team. He's like, we got Boogie, we got PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon, and James Harden. Like we are elite now. I'm finally on a roster, and then he got the best players saying like, no, y'all trash. Like imagine.
Was he sending shots like that toward them though?
Bro, he literally said they're not skilled.
Well, damn.
Like,
he said, he's like, there's no chemistry on the court. He's like, we don't have the chemistry. We don't have the skill to compete for a championship. Is what I'm like.
Yeah, he was saying, he basically said that which is true. They wouldn't have won a championship this year, but they would have been competitive. And I guess you got to look at it on both sides. How long do you want to be competitive? And I honestly think that what got to James Harden too was the pressure of people saying like he chokes in the playoffs. You see what I'm saying? Because let's be real, he makes it to the playoffs, but he to me he vanishes. And so I think he wanted to be on a team where he could take some pressure off himself, and instead of having to have 5 consecutive 30 or 40 point games, he can have a 20 point game, and KD can have a 30 point game, or it's pressure off him. And I think he plays the best. If you go watch him at OKC, that's why they were so good that year. They went to the finals because the games Russ didn't step. I mean, I'm not going to say step up. The games Russ didn't score like he does. You look at James Harden coming off the bench and he give you 25.
Yeah, he was crazy good that series.
And James Harden has a game for 30. So that's, I think, the way they're looking at it. And I'm sure him and KD talking was just like, let's be real. Russ was good, but Kyrie is Kyrie. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And like Harden wasn't Harden yet at the time. Like it was like a third year. He was just like a guy that they're like, wow, this dude can really like get to the hoop whenever he wants. It wasn't like this dude's gonna average 35 next year. I'm gonna show a clip real quick of what Shaq said about it.
You gotta feed the big man. Gotta average 28-15. Like a
Shaq,
Shaq
every
impression.
time he asked him like, "What would you do in the game?" He'd be like, "I would have 30 and 20." Like Shaq, the game is much faster.
Hey, no. Don't disrespect Big Dog Shaq.
Bro, right
he
now,
averaging 40 and 20 in
Shaq,
this league, boy. Who on guard Shaq?
Bro, but like I agree that Shaq's dominant and he would be amazing, but like there's not a big that plays like that. Like the closest thing is Joel Embiid.
Drummond is the closest.
But Andre Drummond, like he's not even dominating like that.
Exactly. He had a monster game last night though. But
okay.
That's my point.
Anyway,
boys in Cleveland 6 and 7, man.
Bro, and they just got Jared Allen. Who is it?
They got 3 non-shooting bigs:
Larry
Drummond, Allen, and JaVale McGee.
You know how they're calling it Sexland? They're calling it Sexland because Colin Sexton.
JaVale, he hit a 3 and he do this.
Pierre.
They're calling it Sexland because Colin Sexton, and Larry Nance tweeted now we got a whole wall around Sexland or something like that because they got Jared Allen, Drummond, and Larry Nance. I'm like, that is a pretty good big squad, but like I don't think anyone's gonna argue their case to like go anywhere really. But let me play this what Shaq said about the Harden trade.
When you say you gave the city your all, that ain't true. And I'm about to say some things, and keep in mind I have G14 classification to say these things. You asked for Dwight Howard, we gave him to you. Didn't work out. You asked for Chris Paul, we gave him to you. You asked for some shooters, we gave it to you. We asked for Westbrook, your homeboy from Little League, we gave him to you. Didn't work out. And when you say I gave you everything, I say no, you didn't, because the last 5 games when it comes to elimination, you're 1-4. You've been shooting 41%, 24% from 3, 32 assists, and 27 turnovers. I used to be like James. I used to come home and complain, man, he didn't do it. And my father, rest in peace, Sergeant Philip Harris, used to say, but what the hell did you do? So when it come time to show up, he ain't show up. So I know a lot of people in Houston glad he's gone. So now he got his little super team. He got to win this year. If he don't win this year, it's a bust, period.
Listen. You see the little shot Shaq threw though. Like I got G14 classification. I got them rings. I like that.
Well, Shaq is real though, because I agree with him. I didn't really think about it like that. I haven't seen that.
That's what Kenny Smith said after Shaq said it. He said, "I never think about it like that."
It was like, damn, that he has had a lot of people. Because like, no BS, Chris Paul is a team changer. Like,
yeah, he's like winning with the Thunder like 2 years ago with no one on the team.
The Suns this year, he's making them better. He's making them better. And it's just like you couldn't get along with him, and he's a true PG. You see what I'm saying? So bring in a Westbrook. Y'all go y'all separate ways. That's a lot though. But like I said, that's why I think that move and that transition is better for him, because I don't think he's a superstar, but he needs to be with another superstar. You know what I'm saying? Like he needs to have an elite. He needs a KD. He needs a bigger superstar in front of him. Like a AD and a LeBron, he needs a Kevin Durant and a James Harden.
Yeah, so we go ahead, John.
Go ahead, Wade. No, you go.
So we were talking about this on Xbox earlier. Who you give the ball to take the final shot? I'm going KD.
KD, yeah. KD's the first
option. Okay, who's the second option?
It's definitely KD, but I think that it can go either way. It depends on matchups too, and it depends on what type of game it is. Because let's see, if you got obviously it's KD, bro, because there's no situation where KD can't score the ball. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I've watched James Harden in person multiple times. And to me, the best way you guard James Harden, if you're quick enough and you don't bite, if you can stay low, if you get into James Harden and you play him physical, what happens is if you're a guy that kind of gives him a cushion to where he can lull you to sleep, get that like if he gets space, he can get his shot off. If you play him too tight and you know he can get around you, he's going to shield you and you can't get back around.
And then he's just going to flop and get a foul somehow.
Right. But if you can, I'm trying to see who guarded him the best. There's guys in the league that know how to guard him. You just have to guard him straight up.
Yeah.
Don't bite.
Listen.
And just be consistent. He'll struggle. Matter of fact, when I was at the game when Boogie got hurt and when AD was still in New Orleans, I can't remember who was in New Orleans at the time, but whoever was guarding him.
Drew Holiday.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Lamps.
Oh my God. Hey, bro. All that step back shit, bro. every time he tried to do it, he couldn't get space on Drew Holiday. I saw him get that shit blocked like 2-3 times because he's not athletic. So like when he steps back, that's strictly just to get his shot off. But like Drew Holiday was anticipating a step back, so he was there. So he's contesting that shit. He still
what you mean? What you mean he's not athletic though?
Huh?
John. James
No,
Harden.
he punches on people when he wants to, but he normally is driving because he wants to get fouled.
I seen James Harden try to dunk off 2 feet and got rim stuff, bro.
Hey, look, he's
Was that before or after the strip club wings?
No, look. Like we talking about NBA though. Like
okay, you're right. Everyone's elite there.
Like everybody's elite. Like everybody in the NBA is athletic, but the guys that are elite athletes, like a LeBron is like an elite athlete. Like
I think maybe I take it personal when someone says like James Harden's like not athletic because like me personally, I'm built different. I'm like, what does that make me?
Oh, like that's like so you got just different levels of athleticism. And in the NBA, the standard for athleticism is like you can be a Zion or you can be a Luka. You know what I'm saying? Like a Luka will sneak and dunk on you, but that's not gonna be his first thing. Like a Zion, Zion needs so bad, but
so overall, you think are the Nets, so barring any injuries, obviously, are Nets like in the NBA finals this year?
No question.
We don't play. I don't know.
No question.
The Boston Celtics look good.
Wade, you sound like a casual, bro. What do you mean no question, bro? They got to get along. Kyrie has not gotten along with a team ever.
Got along with LeBron. They got the chip.
No, they got the chip because they just like LeBron was gonna get the chip. They were down 3-1 to the Warriors. They shouldn't have won the series, bro.
They still got along enough to win the chip, though.
I know they won it, and Kyrie played out of his mind. LeBron played out of his mind.
Both them two.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not saying they're not gonna be in the finals, but it's just gonna be hard because Harden has always he's always had like complaints and stuff. Same with Kyrie, and it's like if you guys are gonna have complaints to each other, you guys are gonna hate each other because both of them complain. KD's gonna be fine. He gonna mesh with any person he plays with.
Yeah. The funny thing about James Harden is when he ain't got the ball, and he's standing at half court with his hands on his hips. I'm like, dude, you're not even in a position to catch and shoot that bitch.
Do you guys not have an offense? Like, what are you doing?
Nigga cross me like hot sauce. Nigga, we got sold out. Play with my game, you get knocked off.